mostly address things like gratitude and compassion and forgiveness and manifestation and, all these good things that truly have a positive effect on your life. And as a beginner, they will, they immediately start feeling the shifts, and it makes it really easier for them to adopt this old tradition of meditation and, put it part of their daily life.
Perfect. Hey, you know what, Miriam? It has been an absolute joy getting to know you and to hear about your courses. I can't thank you enough for being our guest on the New Bridge Radio Show. I hope you'll come back again. And that is going to do it for us on the New Bridge Radio Show. Tune in next week, and our guest will be author Emily Tavishi. She's going to come and talk to us about her new book, and we are excited about that. And that's going to do it for us this week. Everyone go out and have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the nice weather that's out there now. I hope you come back. Good night.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Miriam. It's great having you.
We are controlling transmission.
WLTK-DB. Let's talk. Spirit. It's everywhere. Are we able to communicate with them? What can they teach us? Welcome to School Through Spirit. Host Diet Renee is a certified psychic medium and master of psychic and mediumship development through LWISSD. Diet was born knowing spirit and now is here to help you better understand the spirit world. Now, your host of School Through Spirit, Diet Renee.
Welcome to School Through Spirit. My name is Diet Renee. I'm your host here on WLTK, Let's Talk Digital Radio. This is a radio show to explore different people's lives, their journeys, and how spirit has impacted it. Now, we will be talking with people. I talk to people from different modalities of spirituality and of those that have had spirit affect their life in some manner. Okay, and that means anything, guys, anything. So each week I do start the show off with a small discussion on a topic which gives me, which spirit gives me, and then I move on to my guest. Now, my guest today is Jose. And you know what? He is a friend, but I'm not going to massacre his last name because you know what? My forte is massacring names or forgetting names. As everybody knows, I have been practicing those guys because one day I'm going to get this name thing down. So I'm pushing. Okay. Now, guys, we have some amazing things going on here at the station. Okay. Number one, if you want to watch this live, do not do what I just did, but go to YouTube. Go to the WLTK station on YouTube. Just type in WLTK. You're going to see my lovely face just chattering away, doing what I do best, but just talk. So that's a big thing. So you're going to go there. Now, after the show, for those people who did not listen live, and besides the School Through Spirit, and I'm assuming you're already on the station. Okay, I'm assuming you're already on the station through the internet. WLTK-DB. Now, while we are talking, me and Jose are talking, or any time throughout this whole period, and you have a question, comment, concern, anything you just want to shout out, literally go into the chat center. Do live chats with us. Anything that comes through, my producer is going to link it into me, and we're going to ask your questions, okay? So feel free to do that. Now, if you at some point throughout today cannot listen to this whole show and you're like, oh my God, I got to hear this. It was so good. Don't worry. We are not like the regular radio. We are internet, which is amazing. This show is going to be converted to a podcast, okay? That podcast then gets spread out to Podbean, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Guys, we are on Amazon Music, and you know what? We just got switched to Audible too. Can you believe it? We are on Audible. So this station is moving, it's grooving, it's growing. It's amazing. Come on. You got to be listening every week, okay? It's not that hard. Put your earbuds in, go to work. Your boss will never know, right? You're already doing it anyway. So this week, So this week, guys, I thought because of the guests that I have today, I want to talk about manifestation and energy. And it was so, and I can't even say it's because, I will tell you, I know it's because of the guest, because Spirit did give me the conversation in my lovely head. They did. And it was amazing because I went to bed last night and I would and asked them, what do I need to talk about? They said, don't worry about it. I said, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Oh my God, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see cats running across the road. Or across the room, not the road. And I went, okay. So I woke up this morning and I said, okay, Spirit, we're getting kind of close to call. I need to know what I'm going to talk about today. And they literally told me manifestation. And I went, well, I've already talked about that. And they said, yeah, but you need to talk about it again and the energy of it and kind of all that comes about. Okay. Because we always wonder how these amazing people do amazing things with their lives. Okay. Just amazing things. Like, you know, maybe they have nothing and they grow it to an empire, you know, or whatever it might be. But we all sit back and we go, wow, how do they do that? How do they do that? Well, there is an art behind it. Okay. And it's not just perseverance, although that's huge. Although that is huge, the perseverance and their dedication and not knowing defeat and all those things. It really is. But there's something behind that. Okay. There's something behind that. And it really is called manifestation. Okay. Now, this is so much more than just positive thinking, positive thoughts, you know. In the words of Mike Dooley, and if you do not know who Mike Dooley is, please look him up. The guy's amazing. And I mean, that's with a capital M, all capital letters, all the way across, amazing. It's thoughts become reality. Thoughts become reality. Okay. And that's what a lot of manifestation is. Now, I looked this up because I wanted to go, what am I talking about? I wanted to give you a technical definition right from Google. Okay. So I did what I do. I Googled because you know what, with me, you can't get enough information in your head. And I literally typed up energy and manifestation because I wanted to know what that was exactly. And it says, we are always manifesting. Each thought you have informs your energy, and your energy manifests into your experiences. Now, your thoughts and energy create your reality, and each thought we have creates an energy flow within and around our physical beings. This energy attracts likeness. Okay, now that's the technical. That's the technical, which is pretty easy to understand. Okay, it's pretty easy to understand. Now, I will tell you what, there's a few different ways of doing this. Now, you know what, I'm going to bring up Mike Dooley again, because in the beginning, in the beginning of my journey, my hardcore journey, not this, you know, because, you know, the journey starts when we're born and all that wonderful. But my really hardcore journey of really starting to pay attention, really starting to want to be somebody, really starting to want to go somewhere, trying to figure all this out. I will tell you what started, I got blow my nose again, guys. Every Monday, my nose blows. I think I manifest that. But when I really started this journey, I started it with listening, you know, searching out for anything I could find. Now, I was already a Reiki master and a Reiki master teacher. Not that I taught, but, you know, I had the qualification. But, you know, I never felt that was necessarily my path. It was a beginning to where I was going to go. Okay. It was a beginning to where I was going to go. And I loved that. But I couldn't gain what I needed there. So, you know, I hooked up with some new friends and they were just amazing people. And they really started showing me paths to other things. And one of the things they showed me was Mike Dooley. And I was blown away. Something so simple, thoughts become reality. Wow, how simple is that? And Mike Dooley has a way of doing this, okay? Now, and it's different than mine now, but his way is just amazing if you listen to him. And he will talk about like getting a new car. You want a new car, right? You say you want, we're going to say Chevy Camaro because I love Camaros. I'm telling you, I don't care what year it is anymore. I just love them. I used to be old school. No, I don't care what school. I just love anything that starts with a C and ends with an O, and it's awesome. But if you want a Chevy Camaro, you got to go, okay, I want the Chevy Camaro. I want it in this color. I want it with this detailing. I want it with this engine size. I want it with these wheels. I want it with this interior. I want. And you got to put in everything that you want. But that's not enough. Because then you have to put yourself in the process of going to the dealership to order that car. And then you got to put yourself in the habit of imagine yourself. Now you got all the details that you want. In your mind, you've gone to the dealership and you've bought the car. You've ordered the car. Now you got to put yourself in the mind that I'm in the driver's seat of that car and I'm driving. Okay? You are literally putting all your thoughts into one thing you want with all the details. With all the details. And then you know what you do? Poof, you let it go. Now that's with Mike Dooley. And I love that concept. Why? Why do you go poof and let it go? Because literally, and this is what'll happen. Okay, this is what'll happen. Now I don't necessarily stay to that form anymore because I've been doing this for quite some time. But you'll start to change what you want. So you're telling the universe, oh my God, I want this. Wait a sec, did I say Camaro? Maybe I want a Mustang. Maybe I want a Ford Mustang instead of a Chevy Camaro. So I'm going to hee-haw on that. Well, every hee-haw, every thought, remember, becomes reality. So now you're telling the universe, oh my God, I want this. Wait, I want this. No, I want this. No, I want this. And you're going back and forth. So the universe doesn't know what to give you. Okay? Think of all that energy waste. All that energy waste. So in an everyday thing, if you think about this, and you really sit back and you think about that, now that you figured out how to get the Camaro, okay, if it's something you really want, you have to sit back and go, wait a second. So what have I been doing with the rest of my life? What have I been doing with it? Okay. Wow. You know what? I maybe been a really negative Nancy. And let's take my whole thing about names. And that's one thing I've been trying to change over the last week because I realized, oh my God, I always say I don't do names. I can't get names. I don't do names. And it's so funny because earlier this week I went, I'm done with saying that. I figured out that if I type in somebody's name into this phone, into Google, there's a little voice in this phone that tells me how to pronounce a name. And it's fabulous. Okay. So I went, okay, that's one way for me to learn how to do names. I might have to do it a few times to get into my memory until I get better at it. But it's a way for me to say, I can do names. So literally I went to a reading this week. And, I started out with my whole spiel about names and blah, everything I do, blah, 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 names, everything else. And then before I started, in my own mind, I went, you know what, Spirit? You want to give me a name? I'll take it. Let's start working on this. And it was so funny because literally they gave me an S name. And I'm not going to say the name, but they gave me an S name. And then they gave me 2 S names. I went, oh, so it's not Susie, it's not this, but it's an S. So now remember, I've told my client that I don't get names. So I've already put that out there. So I literally looked at him and said, well, I'm getting an S name. It sounds like this. It sounds like that. But I don't think those are the names, but it's an S name. It's a name that starts with S. And this person on the other side is saying, how are they doing? Well, since I'd already put it out there that I don't get names, ignore the names, I said it and their brain went blank. I put that energy out there. It took them almost until the end before they figured out, oh my God, she loved our mom. Our mom's name starts with an S. But I'd already put that energy out there. I'd already put it out there no matter what. So even if I got the name, it didn't matter because the client wasn't going to receive it because I told them I don't do this. I don't do it. So now I have to come back and go, wait a second. What can I do to rechange that? I got to change my thoughts. I got to change my reality. I got to put that out there that I get names and manifest the ability to do names. Now you can do that with anything. Okay. And that what Jose, when he comes on, he's going to explain to you, he's going to tell you about his life and the businesses and the opportunities he's created. And it's amazing to watch. As a friend, watch it from the outside. I'm like, holy crap, guys, watch him go. But you're going to see that you can do the same thing. Why? By getting a thought in your mind and realizing that thought is energy, and you're putting that energy into the world. It's huge. Because when you get that whole thought that I want to do something, now you can plan and plan and plan, and that's okay. Get a piece of paper out. Okay. Get a piece of paper out and draw or write your ideas, all your thoughts, everything you want. Write it out, draw it out. Excuse me, my nose. Every time I get on the station, guys, I got to start putting that out too. But you know what? Blowing your nose is all about releasing. So there you go. Which is another energy thing that we'll talk about another time. But when I'm getting back to this with manifestation and that energy. So now we talked about verbiage and you know, thoughts with like things that you can or cannot do. So how do you get the reality of something? How do you get the reality of maybe better in your life? Okay, if that's what you want to do. So you want more money in it, or maybe you want a different job, or maybe a different house, or you know what, a mate, whatever, a partner, whatever you want to call it. So what I want you to do is you're going to literally sit back and, you know, you're going to put the thought process into your head. Okay. Like for myself, I want to grow my business. I want to take it to another level. I want to grow to it. So I've got to sit down and think, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Okay. So one, I made myself a .com. So I went from I mean, I really had a really long, website before. And it literally was http:// psychic Jet Renee psychic medium.weebly.com is what I think it was. Oh my God. Was I not manifesting nobody coming to me or what? Because who can remember all of that? Even if you take the HTTP off, still, that's a mouthful. So I want to grow my business. So what do? One, I think it's something simpler. Something people simpler can think about. My name is pretty good, Diet Renee. That's pretty good, right? So let's just get it down to Diet Renee and add a .com and get rid of the rest. So we've done that. Okay, we've done that. Then you get a good hold of a good friend, Jose, and you ask him, hey, dude, do you know anybody that does artwork or design or something? Because I need a logo. I don't like my logo. It feels very generic, very childish. Can I get it, you know? And you know what? That friend hooks you up with somebody that does that. Okay? So then you get yourself a logo. And for everybody that's watching, this is my shirt, this is my merch, this is my logo. Okay? So, and for everybody that's listening, it's simply, you know, it's a Celtic love knot, which is, or the Trinity knot. It's got a raven and it's got some wheat off of it with my name underneath it. It's just three elements that I believe strongly in that come together. That really, you know, it's the Trinity, the union, raven is the messenger, and the wheat is prosperity. And it's bringing it together with my name. Very simple, put it on some shirts, put it on some hats, you got some merchandise, which is amazing. Okay, so that's one thing I want to do. Well, then I don't care for my website. And I'll tell you what, as much as I'm learning technology, and I'm learning technology, I haven't been learning it fast enough for myself. Okay, fast enough for myself. And it may never be my forte, and that's okay, because somebody else has that skill set. So it means I'm, you know, out there looking and talking and looking at different websites and looking at all these things and looking for somebody that does websites that is basically close to home in my backyard, so I can go running and screaming, going, oh my God, I can't do this. But to have a new improved website that will actually bring people to me, that'll, you know, bring them in, have them sign up with, you know, say their email, so that I can create an email pile or email list so that I can send information out to people. Boom, there you go. Can you see it starting to grow? So these are all the plans in my head. These are all those things I'm doing. These are all those things I'm gearing towards. Now, if all I did was think I want to grow my business, and that's I did, and I left it at that, it's not going to get very far. It's not going to get very far, because remember, you have to have the planning. You do have to have some doing in there. But at the whole same time, I am pushing my reality out there, my thoughts out there, my energy out there to say, hey, it's going to bring it in. Now, this isn't door-to-door sales. So what I'm literally doing is I'm putting all the plans in. I'm putting everything in place. Okay, I'm doing the planning. I'm putting things in place. I'm putting things out there so that gets sent out to the universe and has a place for somebody to come back in and look and say, oh my God, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. And I'll tell you what, it works. It works. Because honestly, I started this process a couple of years ago. And a couple of years ago, I was still nursing full-time. Now I'm not nursing full-time. And I went from being a Wisconsin-based medium with a few other states, because I really worked my butt off going every place else, driving everywhere, to becoming an international known psychic medium and master teacher of psychic mediumship development. And it's because I put my energy out there to the universe, and I'm doing all these steps, and I'm planning it, and I'm always going forward with it. And the universe is taking everything I've done, all my energy, going, oh, this is what she wants. Well, let's push it out there further for her, and let's push it to Texas. Let's push this to Florida. Let's push this to California. Let's push this to Canada. Let's go to Australia. Let's go to, United Kingdom. Let's take this out there. And that's what it does. It pushes it up everywhere. Now, isn't that really cool? Because I'll tell you what had happened yesterday. Somebody just Googled they needed a psychic medium. They needed a medium. Guess whose name popped up? Mine. And they weren't next door. They were in Texas, Southern Texas. And that's pretty cool, isn't it? How that happens. Now, how would little old me, without the power of manifestation and without that power being able to send out there saying, this is what I want, have somebody be able to see my name when they Googled? I'm sure they didn't sit there and look all day long for one name. Do you understand how that works? So you can do this with your own life also. You can do this with your own life. Okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and the little bit longer is not, and I'm going to repeat this until I'm blue in the face. A little bit longer is not because, you know what, it just can't happen to you. The little bit longer is because you change your mind. You change it up. Can you add more details? Of course. You can always add more details. You can always look at that car and go, you know what? I want the red Camaro, but you know what I really want? I want that red Camaro with white pinstripes. I really want that. I really want the white pinstripes. Didn't say it before, but I really want the white pinstripes. No. You've already gone and ordered the car. It's not going to come with the white pinstripes. But I guarantee you, there's a detailer that does paint and body work down the road that will easily put those pinstripes on for you, won't they? See how that works? You can always add more to what you want. You can always add more. Okay? But the minute you change your mind and go, I want to go from Camaro to Ford or Camaro to Mustang, you're done. You're done. You've told the universe, no, don't want either one. I ain't going to give you either one because you can't make up your mind. It's like myself. If all of a sudden I decide to put my name out there, my energy out there, I'm manifesting a whole psychic mediumship business that teaches and everything else, and all of a sudden I decide I want to teach calculus, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble because one, I'm not getting clients for either one. One, because I've told the universe I don't want to do this job anymore. And two, I have to learn calculus on top of sending that out. Okay? And that's just not going to work. So when this is slowing down for you, it's because literally you're the one, putting the brakes on it. You're the one that's putting on the brakes and saying, you know what? I'm not sure if this is what I want. I'm not sure if this is what I want to do. Okay? Does that all make sense? So to do this, you need to start one. What do I want? Number one, what do I want? Okay? Or you know what? Number one, what do I not want to do? Because let's take this from a job standpoint, okay? I don't want to be a nurse anymore. I want to retire. I want to be done. I don't want to do the job. I'm just burnt out. I don't want it anymore. That's number one. I'm putting the plan in place that I don't want to do that job anymore. Two, I want to create my own business. Three, I want it to be a psychic mediumship business. 4, I want to teach that job. 5, I want to be known by many, 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 many people, because the better I'm known, the more clients I get. Isn't that cool how that works? And when you really start to really push the point, you might get yourself a radio show and didn't even know you wanted it. Because you never know how it's going to happen. You never know how it's going to happen. You know, today radio, tomorrow TV, you never know. You know what I mean? You never know how this is going to happen. We don't know. Because at this point now, I send it to the universe and I say, this is what I want. This is what I want. Now I'm going to send it out to the universe. Now, it doesn't mean I just go back and sit on my couch and eat potato chips and watch TV. It does mean I have to keep working towards that. But I will tell you what, the universe will always give you more than what you ask for. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you'll get contracts. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you'll get offered a position. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, next thing you know, it's like maybe your house burned down, you have to build a new one, and you didn't realize you had so much insurance money that you get to build the house of your dreams. You never know how it's going to come. Because universe will take away what you no longer need and give you something you've asked for, something you've wished for. And it may not come in the way you think. It may not come in the way you desire. Because remember how I just said a radio show and you didn't even know you wanted it? Because I used to say, everybody used to look at me and say, why do you travel? Why do you travel? I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting tired of traveling all over the place. Really, I just wish there was an easier way to get my name out there. I wish there was an easier way to do this. But if I have to keep traveling all over Timbuktu, I will. Whatever needs to be done. Boom, boom, boom. My producer put something out on Facebook looking for radio hosts. I still said no. And guess who's still doing a radio show almost a year later? Almost a year later. This is my 1 year month. And it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. It's truly amazing. Okay. So then I turn around and go, what else is next? All I do is think about it, let it go into reality. Let's see what happens. Let's see what they bring back to me. But I have to keep working. Every day I have to keep working. Okay. Now, with that being said, everybody, just so you know, when Jose is going to be on here in a couple of minutes, there is no longer top of the hour top of the hour news, because I don't know what happened to Fox News Station, but we're not playing it anymore. I think they're look in the news, you'll find something about it. Anyway, so when I come back, I will have Mr. Jose with me here on School Through Spirit with WLTK. Let's Talk Digital Radio. I'm Diet Renee.
We are controlling transmission.
Let's talk paranormal evidence. We scour the internet searching for true paranormal.
He's coming in. He's here. Hello, Jose. You're muted.
Let me unmute myself in a second. 1 second. I'm going to close my office.
Perfect.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Neither can I. You liked your post I sent you?
The
messenger. I sent that last week and I showed it to Lucas and he went, oh my God, that'd be so cool. And you didn't message back. I went, I think he's mad, Lucas.
Nah.
We thought you'd be good at that. So we're going to talk for about an hour. How's that sound? Good. Sure. You know, it's just talking about your story, you know?
Cool.
So there's a whole lot of people that like to hear about that stuff and how people do what they do. Last week and I started
Awesome. Are we live now?
Not yet. We're on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay. I think you're live right now.
Yeah,
I'm watching a video.
YouTube now. And what happens is that the YouTube station stays on after the show is done. It turns into a podcast. We also got hooked up to Audible last week, so people can download it like a book now, which is awesome. We're on Amazon Music everywhere.
Okay.
Oh,
how do I share the radio part?
WLTK.com.
Are we live now?
Not yet.
WLTK.
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're live right now.
Yeah. Oh, he says, can you turn down your audio for the YouTube part because he can hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
I did the same thing to him.
Let's see, I'm just trying to find the radio link.
Welcome back to School Through Spirit. I'm your host, Yet Renee, here on WLTK. Let's Talk Digital Radio. I have with me Mr. Jose, and I've been saying Mr. Jose. Why? Because I try not to tell anybody's last names because I massacre them. And I was telling people last week because I do. If I didn't, I don't even use my last name because I think I'd destroy it. I have learned on Google, I can type in people's last names and Google will pronounce it for me. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
So tell everybody who you are and basically what you do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my name's Jose. I would say I'm just a regular family man. I do a lot though. I currently I DJ full time. And I also landscape during the week. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yes, what I do.
What he doesn't tell everybody is he owns a larger DJ service.
Yeah, we do quite a few events.
He's got a whole team. And that's one of the things I like about you, Jose, is because you are just like, this is what I do, you know? But where does your story start, you know? Because I know we've talked a little bit, but how did you get to where you're from? Because I know you're from Milwaukee, you know, but how did you get to where you're at now?
I actually started off, I guess, you know, it would start in my teen years. I went through a rough childhood, you know, kind of like, you know, I grew up in the inner city of Milwaukee. I actually, as far as I remember, you know, both of my parents went, you know, they were at a point in my life where they weren't there. And I had, you know, 7 younger brothers and sisters. So I really had to, you know, put my big boy pants on and, you know, take care of them, guide them as much as I can. I mean, I was only 12 years old, but, you know, and all of them were younger. You know, aside from that, I had to do a lot of them, you know, a lot of the role that my dad, I had to take on that role, and same with my mom. And basically I had to just, you know, grow up at an early age and just do what I can, do what I learned from, you know, try to remember everything my dad, you know, told me and just, you know, guide as much as I could. You know, it led me through middle school, a tough middle school, tough high school. Then, you know, I decided to go to college in my senior year of high school, like super late. And then I just basically just, you know, went in for criminology, but just, it just wasn't for me. So then I just started, you know, doing business just because that's the way I grew up. So I just started, you know, trying to do my own thing, figuring out like what I'm good at and just, you know, figuring out how to get paid for it. So that's kind of my story. And that's kind of where, you know, where it is now. It's just, you know, rough childhood, growing up, adapting, and just keep it moving.
Which is huge, you know, and because I like it, because I know in the time that I've met, because I was blown away by, now everybody that can see, you can see, obviously you're not in your 50s. So I was blown away that you're in your 20s and you have got a strong business. And at that time you were building, I think, 2 other businesses, and they were becoming very strong, successful businesses. And that was the hair one. And you were starting the arcade for kids and things of that nature. And you were doing this walking into COVID. you know?
Yeah.
I'm watching you going, oh my God, what is going to happen? Because all of your businesses are like hands-on. And you just turned yourself around.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I grew up kind of adapting to things. Unfortunately, the arcade thing didn't work out because of COVID. A lot of it was because of COVID.
Right.
I did pursue a new passion, like I said, in landscaping. And so right now I'm kind of just focusing on landscaping and DJing, just because those are truly my passions, right? Those are the things I really like to do. Like, if you wake up and you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life.
I don't know how you love breaking your back. Sorry, I can't even say the words. We have got a running joke here at our house, Jose. You don't even know, because we've been working on some stuff.
Yeah.
And every time Lucas is my daughter's husband. Every time he starts to sweat a little bit, I said, we can hire Jose. He'll come. He might just be down the road. And he just looks at us like, he does great work. He does great work. Just bring Jose.
Right.
The yard will be done in a couple of weeks. We're good, But it blows me away, because with all your posts that I get to see on Facebook, even the landscape business started because you didn't want to sit in your house. You started doing your own stuff. At least that's what it seemed to be like. You started doing your own yard and posting pictures,
Yep.
And it's like, all of a sudden it was like, I remember, I think, what your first post, like, somebody asked me to do this. So I'm going to go do this. And then next thing you know, well, somebody else asked, and you were talking about how this was just slowly building. And next thing you know, you have a whole nother business. And I'm like, how are you going to do this? And you're like, well, I'm not doing the DJ right now, so I have time, but it's how you put your energy into that, and now it's not only that, I get to sit back here and not say anything, but I get this fun to watch you. Like, is it your mom that's opening these restaurants too, that you're a huge part of?
So the carryout restaurant is my dad's deal, but I help him market. I'm basically a partner in that.
Right.
And my mom's bar and grill is, again, her thing, and I'm a partner in it. So basically, my parents, they've been away for a while, so I have to kind of get them in tune with everything, and try to help them, try to get up to speed. So that, I mean, that's my role there. But I just, in general, I love entrepreneurship. I love to see people, like, do their own thing, pursue their passion. Like, I'm super passionate about it. Like, people reach out to me all the time to have lunch and just pick on my brain, get ideas. Like, I love doing that kind of stuff, because I think that, entrepreneurship in general is the future of this country. I mean, we're seeing it right now, like, people don't want to work. People are just tired of working for other people, and most people want to do their own thing. But the issue is that, people have issues like finding their passion and trying to pursue it, because they're afraid. Because if you think about it, we go to school, we're wired to think, we're wired to think, we're wired to how do you say it, like how to think,
right? Yeah.
So we're not taught to be creative as much, or even, like going out beyond the norm, right?
Yeah. We're not taught to do, we can do whatever we want.
Correct. Yeah, we're taught, oh, there's an A, B, and C of things of doing things. We're not taught to, oh no, actually you could do your own thing and still make, the same amount of money as, someone that was salaried.
Right.
Work a little more.
Right. Exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah. And I love that, because I know I came to you. I literally came to you, and I came to you when I was still actively nursing too. Because I met you through my daughter, because she was hiring you as a DJ. I did, what, even that's a funny story, because we were talking about manifestation earlier today on the show, because I asked Spirit, what do I talk about? And they're like, you have Jose, you need to talk about manifestation, because this dude knows he knows how to do this. He understands it, And I'll never forget, because I kept looking at my daughter. If you're gonna hire a DJ, get the best. And I didn't even know, I hadn't even met you yet. And she's like, no, that's what I wanted. It's not gonna happen. He's booked, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm putting it out there to the universe. Jose will be at your wedding. doing your wedding. That's all there is to it. We're not saving for anything less. Next thing you know, you had a cancellation. My daughter's looking at me. I'm like, we got Jose. You know what I mean?
And we had a really good time.
You know, we did. We had a blast. But you know what? That's how I met you, was through her wedding, you know, and I can remember coming to you and going, hey, I need some skills. I need to understand more. I was one of those people that picked your brain. You know, I was one of those people that said, hey, I need to know how to do this, because I was starting to really want to let go of my nursing and just do my mediumship full time, you know, and where to go with that. And you know, you told me some of the basics. You need to do this, you need to do this, you know, you need to follow this. Next thing you know, I have a radio show and you didn't even know I had it. So, you know, I hope other people get that same experience as I did, just coming to you. You know, it's almost like you need your own school of Jose, you know. Jose's, don't tell my wife I'll have another business.
I don't need any more.
She'll build it for you though. That'll be awesome. She'll build it. You know.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I just try to be a realist, you know, like I believe that, you know, I used to be more like, when I first got into business, I used to be more about like, I used to focus more on the monetary part of business, you know, but, you know, as I get into life and, you know, get older, then I realize like happiness is really what everyone searches for, right? And everyone always tries to look through happiness through money. But the thing is that money doesn't pay for everything. Money can't pay for good people. Money can't pay for good family. So how, you know, how can you be happy, you know?
right.
Well, first things first, you know, most of your life, or at least half of your life, you're working through half of your life, right?
Yeah.
So the only way, in my opinion, to be happy is to find a job, find something, like I said, find something you're good at, find something you love, work through it. At the same time, you know, have those few people in your life, and you'll be happy, you know, you'll feel rich in life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just my thing, which seemed to be in your case, you know, you
This
you know,
is what I
didn't
love.
like you said, you didn't like nursing as much, or you didn't find that was your passion, and now you're doing what you love. So that's awesome, you know.
I love the fact that I was helping people. I didn't like how I was helping people, you know, and it was that whole, oh my gosh, I got to get up at 4 a.m. and I, you know, and then I got to drive an hour, because I was going up to Milwaukee. I was going up to Cedar Rapids from Janesville every day, you know, and you know that drive, that is not a short drive. And I was working 16-hour shifts and driving home, you know, I mean, it was crazy, and doing that every other day, because clearly you can't drive that much, and try to sleep too, you know, but hating it, and finding I wasn't helping people anymore. You know, so for myself, it was all about, okay, I'm doing it, but how do I switch it? How do I switch it to really help people? You know, so that was for myself. And just like you, I did this through COVID. You've been more successful at this, but I did it through COVID. You know, I quit my job, you know, perfect time to be a nurse, get, you know, security, and I quit February 10th. So, you know, and did not go back. But okay, I digressed so badly there. I apologize. But to kind of go back a little bit, okay, when I look at you, I always think about how much you do for your community too, you know, because I always see you giving back in some form. Now, it may not be, you know, having big fundraisers for the community and this and that, but you know, I've heard or you've told me stories about, you know what, you went out and just bought steaks for your neighbors, you know, or, you know, put out that post of, hey, I need more people to work. You know, I need more DJs. I'll train you. You just have to have a passion. You know, all of those are ways of giving back, you know. So what is your philosophy on all that, on giving back, and how that helps you to grow your own business?
I think that, you know, I think about my struggles, and, you know, I think that where it started is when I came into Janesville. This is like kind of like my pivot to, you know, mentally, when I started thinking more about the community, you know, because back when I was younger, I you know, thought about my family, and that's all I thought about, right?
Right.
But then when I moved into Janesville, I was looking for a job, and I got got hired at a job, and then my good friend Keenan, he's still a good friend. He literally hired me for the job. I came into Janesville with my car leaking coolant. I had no gas money.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't even know if I was gonna get back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you
So,
landed here.
yep. So I literally drove here where like I said, my car is leaking coolant, and then had no gas. And my friend Keenan not only, gave me money for coolant to get back,
Right.
he also gave me gas money, and and a little bit of money for food, and gave me a job, and told me I should report to work tomorrow. So,
He
that
gave you
was
the
kind of
gas
like,
money, coolant money to get back then.
yes, that was like it just like warmed my heart like a lot. Like that was probably like the best. That was 10 years ago, and I still remember it like it was last week.
Right.
So ever
That's
since that act of kindness, I believe that you treat people the way you want to be treated, and I believe that good karma always goes back. So that, I mean, my philosophy, like I said, my philosophy is those two things, and I think that it always bounces back, and it always has bounced back. I've always, there's things that I haven't shared, that I've done, and I feel good about myself doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I do it more because someone has helped me, so I help them, and it just feels good to just help people, and just in some way, shape, or form, be a part of the community, and just like I said, you're rich in life.
Yeah.
You have that when you have the ability to share with others and have the ability to make a difference. It's a self-fulfilling thing that just you just feel like you feel happy, you feel I'm grateful to just be in my position where I am now.
Right. Well, and I always wonder, because like, and for everybody that's, him and his wife, you guys go out and it's like, you'll see a post all of a sudden like, hey, somebody needs help. And you're kind of like doing a drive, if somebody's house burned down or whatever, a drive to help them. Or, hey, I just bought a truck and a trailer. Who needs some stuff hauled? I'm always seeing you do stuff like that, which is, and I'm saying it like it's a bad thing, but it's an amazing thing that you stuff like that. But, it really is. It helps so much morale in the community, and it shows in everything that you do. It really shows in everything you do, because it's always a positive. There's no negative associated with your name. There's no, or your businesses. It's all positive, positive, positive. It's as if you wake up in the morning and there's just not a negative thought in your mind. It's, I don't know if you ever wake up and go, oh, just shit on the day, excuse my language, but you know what I mean? Like, I stub my toe and piss on it, but, it always seems like you always start so positive.
Yeah, I mean, my life's not perfect, like everyone else's, but I try my best to wake up every day and just, live it like it's the last day of my life, because at the end of the day, if you went to a hospital and you had cancer, and let's say you had 30 days to live, you're not going to be thinking about, oh, what this person said about you, or, oh, this person spreading this rumor, or, oh, my rim is scratched, you're not going to be thinking about those little things. You're going to live your life. You're going to, cherish that time with your family. You're going to cherish whatever time you have with your friends. So it's like, I just think that there's too much insignificant thoughts in life within people.
Right.
And I refuse to live like, like I got like 69 years or something.
Now, so do you see that as a way that's helped grow your business also? Do you think they come together in that aspect?
When I think about, business and, spreading business, I just think about my employees, and, I try to just take care of them. Like some of the events and some of the, stuff that I do, they're ideas for my employees. For example, I had an employee that wants to do karaoke, right? So I say, hey, well, let's look for some bars that want to do karaoke, and you know, that's what you're passionate about. Sure, let's do it. So that's what we went with. That's how karaoke started. It wasn't.
I was wondering how that started. And oh my God, I lost that, just so you know, because I kept seeing the bar, but I kept thinking it was south of where you were at, not north. And I'm like, darn it, I knew the bar, I just couldn't say the name. I love
how that started.
Oh, I was wondering, I'm like, why is Jose doing karaoke now? I mean, you're just expanding. That's a whole new set of like everything.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, my team, you know, they want something, and I help them do it. You know, it's all a team effort. This business is not running well because it's just me.
Right.
It's all team. They're really good people. They show up to the events. I'm just grateful to have a good team in my company.
I think that's amazing. I really do, because I see them out there. I personally, I should say my daughter and my son-in-law see them, because I personally don't have a life. I stay home, I work, I take care of the grandbabies, you know, and I send them out to tell me if everything's having fun, you know. But it's pretty awesome because I get my son-in-law see them. Ooh, I got loud. That's okay. I did it in the very beginning before you even came on. My producer's like, oh my God, you're getting me the death of me. I'm like, take a nap, get a cold compress. Because I'm going to give you a headache. But I love watching. I really do. I get that, you know, and if anybody hooks up and even follows you on Facebook, they're going to see how you're growing things all the time. It's always changing. It's always growing. Because like, let's switch over to, you know, your landscaping business. You know, everybody I notice is commenting on some of the stones you're using, all those, you know, the stones, and they're like, well, where are you getting them? You're like, we make them. I'm like, you do what? You're making them now?
Oh no, I don't make the stones.
Okay, well, you said that, and I'm like, are you pouring concrete to make all of that?
Cement curbing.
Does that make sense?
Cement curbing, yeah. Cement curbing is something that you have to use. So there's a machine they use to form the cement curbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because you said you did that. I'm like, how did you go from basically mowing your yard last year and getting bored by putting in a water fixture,
yeah,
to making this stuff?
So
like,
I actually flew. So during quarantine, I flew to Utah to train to do it.
Oh, yeah, the little behind the scenes that we didn't know about.
Yep. Yep. So it was a good trip. Like I said, I was just, you know, I was bored, so I was like, just let's do something new, you know.
Let's do something new.
We got some training, and now we know how to pour it. So, I mean,
that's awesome. And I'll tell you what, after this, because I will share this to my Facebook, I'm going to have to put some images underneath so people can see the work you've done. You know, I mean, DJ gone landscaper, gone to pouring concrete. You know what I mean? It's like, it's insane, but it's also a testament to how you view life, you know, how you view life. And you're just like, you know what, guys, if you want to work, there's work, there's work, you know. And I see that all the time, like, hey, you know, you don't have to sit on your butts and just feel, I don't want to say sorry for yourself, you know what I mean? But you can get up and you can work. You know what? You can do what your passion is, and you can make a living at doing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's no excuses for not being out working or not being able to work, unless you have a disability or something that prevents you from, you know, physically working, or even mentally, because there's also mental disabilities. But
right.
If you are, you know, healthy, and I mean, you should be able to, there's opportunities everywhere. There's, you know, even jobs hiring everywhere. One thing I like to tell, I even tell this to my employees, you know, if you, like, let's say you want to start a roofing business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, instead of going out to school and learning how to roof, like, go and work for a company and learn how to roof and gain that knowledge. Because more than just a monetary thing that you're gaining, you're also getting the knowledge. Learn it, how to do it. Do it on the side, and then transition into doing your own thing.
Right.
Something that you could do. That goes for any trade, you know, except, you know, electricians, you got to get a master electrician license, stuff like that. But that's like any trade that doesn't require a license.
Right.
That's a good advice right there.
It's amazing advice, because trust me, I talk to dead people. You know, so I mean, if you can do that, you can do anything. You know?
Learn it.
So I tell people, I have no excuse. I talk to dead people, and trust me, if I can do that, you can do anything. There is no limits to what you can do in this life for a job. You know what I mean? So, I'm not going to landscape though, because you know what? I bought a rototiller and I suck at that too, but I keep trying. You know? So that's what we have Lucas for, right? We'll just call you one of the two, you know. But I love your mottos. I really do, because I've watched you grow, and you know, and I see you go back to Milwaukee to even if it's to be that, you know, that support to your parents. I see you going up there. Even that is helping out the community up there. So it's kind of like you're spreading this between two different communities. And you know what? Milwaukee's no joke. You know, it's not that it doesn't have some amazing places and amazing people, but it can be really rough and tumble too. You know, and you're going back to give to a community and be an inspiration up there also.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Milwaukee is always my city at the end of the day. That's why I kind of gained my, you know, who I am now. You know, even through the struggles and everything, I'm super grateful for all of it all. I There's some great people in Milwaukee now that are, you know, choosing to stay there and, you know, be part of the community. One person I do want to acknowledge is Yusuf Morales. He runs a mentorship program down there in Milwaukee. He's doing a great job down there in getting kids mentorship. There's a lot of other great leaders in there as well. But as far as, you know, as far as the city, I think that, you know, that's the area is rough, right? Because there's a lot of segregation going on and a lot of things that, you know, that just get you in that mentality, that closed-minded mentality. Like, you know, I'm gonna be a realist and say that, you know, I've never been outside of Milwaukee before, you know, before my college years. I've always been in Milwaukee, and I think that the toughest part of it was just how do you say it, like really congregating with other races.
Right.
It's the biggest thing, because I was taught, you know, when I was younger, growing up in my community, I was taught to think that, you know, that Black people are evil, or that white people are selfless or selfish and stuff like that. And then I grew up and I, you know, go to college and I just experience all, you know, all races, all people. And then like, it's totally different.
Right.
You know? Like, it's just totally different. So I just, you know, I'm just grateful to just get out of the city and just experience, you know, the multiculturalness of just everyone and everything between. And I'm just, like I said, it's tough, but I got through it.
I love that, because you know, I've had the benefit, and I will say it's a benefit and it's a joy to be able to go up to Milwaukee, because I spent a lot of time at like both St. Luke's hospitals doing mental health. You know, I was over on Dewey Street doing mental health down there for some kids. You know, in different aspects up there in Milwaukee. So I had that opportunity to go up there, and I could not believe how many I spoke to that said the same things as you just did. You know, Milwaukee's got to be so big, and it offers so much that people don't necessarily go outside of Milwaukee. They don't see the rest of the world. You know, they don't see those opportunities. You know, people tend to, and they do in other cities too. So don't get me wrong. I'm not just pigeonholing one, but they tend to get that thought process, that learned thought process. And I can't even say it's through social media. You know, it really is. It's handed down through parents or society or your next door neighbor or your teachers. And without those mentorships or those people that stand up and say, oh my God, you know what? You can do this. You know, you can do this. It doesn't have to be just one or two, you know, success stories that got out and learned how to rap, or, you know, learned how to be a businessman to get out of there, you know. And it's not even a getting out. It's just learning how to, you know, stretch your wings within the community.
Yeah.
You know, so I love that you stated that and you touched on that, because I really do think that type of, God, I hate to use the word mentality because it feels like it's such a negative content, you know, negative word sometimes, but it's a thought process, you know.
Yeah, well, it is a thought process of, you know, taking care of your own, right? Quote, quote, taking care of your own and stuff like that. Like it's a very dangerous thought process, because that's exactly what's separating our country in general. Is just, taking care of your own is just, we're all one, we're all one nation. At the end of the day, if we get invaded by another country, we're not going to be thinking like that.
No, I think about that often. And sometimes I've wanted to come and sit down next to you. And this is going to be a dangerous statement on my part, but I've wanted to come and sit next down to you and look at you and go, I'm American. How about you? Just at the end of the day, make that a motto. I'm American. How about you? And just see if it flourishes, see if it grows. You know what I mean?
I'm not. No, I'm good.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? It's just of doing that, because I think right there, that would help build morale, build, that there is nobody better or worse. Take out the pedestals. Realize we're all the same. We're not a melting pot. We're just American. You know what I mean?
I agree 100%.
I don't care if you're Trump, at the highest tower, or the bug on the ground. If you're born here, that's what you are. You know what? I think you like to hear my voice twice there.
Yeah. No, you're good.
But I like that thought process, because I think that thought process being spread helps people realize that, there is nothing you cannot do. Because I don't want to put this bug into any one of your DJ's ears, but I think they all understand also that, if one of them went, hey, I want to own my own business, you'd be their first supporter to say, hey, let's do this. What do you want the name? I have a great lady that does, does artwork. I can help you with a website. Let's build it. Let's build and conquer. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, some of my DJs already have their own businesses, and I encourage it.
Yeah.
Like, fill your own dates, and whatever dates you have left, I'll fill them for you.
Yeah, because that's huge. It's realizing there's always more. There's always more. There's always, I know when I go any place to sit down, and trust me, in my world, there can be a lot of competing. And I always look at them, go, are we having a shortage on dead people? Like, is there not enough for all of us to talk to? You know what I mean? It's like, there's, and the funny thing is, every day there's more, so we're not running out, and in your world, there's always going to be more grass and more people that want to hear music and more people that are going to want to celebrate. And why not? Because you as one person cannot fill all the dates. So encouraging people to do that just helps you yourself too. Does that make sense? It's like it's karma, but at the same time, people see you doing that. Yeah. And it helps you build. It helps you build.
I agree. Yeah. I think that working together is always the best option for everyone. And there's plenty of work for everyone. I mean, I've had lunches with DJs, with other DJs in my industry. I still do. I have, lunches with even other vendors, like I said, in the area. And I've even had, as far as landscaping, I've had, landscapers that have been doing this for 20, 30 years. I've set up lunch with them at 6 a.m. and had breakfast. Actually, I set up breakfast with them at 6 a.m. and they literally just taught me how things are done. Wow. One example is Mr. Samuel Hatchett at Pro Landscape Supply. I had lunch with him. Wow. I've had him send me business. I've sent him business. So wow. It's like it works out. It works out when you work together, and it just everyone wins. Yeah, there's plenty of work out here for everyone. Plenty.
I love how you say that, because that builds right there. It builds. And I hope people are listening to that, because I'm not just venturing in to go, my own idea. This is really how you grow your business. I mean, even the barbershop, and if anybody knows, he started 5-star barbershop in the Janesville Mall, of all places, the mall. I mean, seriously. And you grew it, and then you said, here you go. You know what I mean? So, but I know you're the start of it, you know what I mean? And you made something beautiful, and you made a great, safe place for a lot of people to come in and do their craft, and then you went, I'm going to go deal with yards. It's easier to cut the yards than it is to cut hair. You guys go at it. I'm not saying that Jose cuts yards because he does beautiful creations.
People ask me, "Oh, do I cut hair?" Like, no, I don't cut hair. I cut yards.
Yeah, I cut yards. I mean, no, I just helped a bunch of people do this. That's all I did. You know, I helped other people to flourish within their own craft and make it a little bit nicer, a little bit better. You know, I brought him a motorcycle, so there you go. An environment. But that's what I want people to understand is that, you know, building that business, building yourself really is about exploring what you can give out as much as it is take in. You know, it's that universal back and forth. So where are you going from here?
I'm not sure. I haven't thought about it, actually.
You haven't thought about it?
I think it's because a lot of it is because I'm playing catch up.
Okay.
You know, from last year. So, you know, this year we have events from last year plus this year. So I'm just playing catch up, right? I haven't caught my breath yet, but I think that what I really want to do is eventually, you know, still continue with business, obviously, but one of my lifelong goals has always been to become a police officer.
Mm-hmm. I was going to go there, but I didn't want to go there, so I let you touch on it.
That has always been my lifelong goal. But we, you know, we still have kids and stuff, so so I'm still not, you know, I would be taking a huge pay cut, and I'm just not ready for that.
Right.
So, but once I you know, pursue that, I think that, you know, I know I'm gonna be happy because that's something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's something that I still intend on doing. It's just that right now, you know, with, you know, COVID subsiding, and I'm just trying to get my company to a point where they don't really need me. And then pursue my, you know, my true passion. Again, you know, still want to be more involved with the community, and I think that's one way I could do so.
Right. I could see you just, you know what, it's like it almost spews over your head, like mentorship programs, you know, for the youth, you know, or for people, I should say, not just youth, but for people, you know, to realize that they could be better than what they are or do more than what they think they can, if that makes sense. You know, and I could see you just going, hey, let's do this. Like, now I got this uniform, you know, let's make this uniform friendly, and let's make this uniform what it's supposed to be. You know, because there's always more than one way to protect people. Excuse me, but there always is.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, I'm seeing it now. I mean, you know, I don't know if you've been following the city of Beloit Police Department.
No, I haven't.
They're doing a lot of really good things. They actually just got a new chief. His name is Chief Andres Sales, I think his last name is. Okay. So they're using a lot of social media to reach out to the community. They're also doing a lot of meet and greets in the park where you can actually like talk to the chief. They're doing cookouts, you know, in the community, things like that. Like those are the type of things that I respect, and those are the type of things that I believe every police department should do.
110%. Because, you know, me and my daughter were just talking about this, because when I raised my daughter, my kids, not just my daughter, I will never stand up and say I was the best parent. I'm a much better grandparent than I ever thought about being a parent. You know, I was more involved in the man that I was dating, who was more involved in hitting me, you know, so, and he was very much involved with the police. And my kids got to the point where they're almost afraid of the police. Police were a negative thing, not a positive thing, you know? And so we've talked about that, and, you know, in reversing that mindset to go, no, you know, these police are great guys. You know, these police they're amazing. They help us, and they do so much more than what you think, you know, to see those roles. I'm glad that Beloit is, and I would hope Janesville would adopt that mentality, you know, to open up a fire station and say, hey, come on in and have hot dogs, you know, or whatever it might be, you know, because I think you would find much more positive work between community and police then, or community and uniform, I will say.
Yeah, citizens, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you should head that, Janesville, just saying. Jose's like, when would you like me to do that? I got from like 2 a.m. until about 4 open. Because Jose does not sleep. I swear he does not sleep. You know, taking little cat naps.
I'm starting to sleep a little bit.
You ever drive by and you see Jose with his eyes shut in the truck, it's because the man doesn't sleep. Just little cat naps. But it would be cool. It would be, you know, I can almost see you hosting an event that says, you know what, I'm going to host an event in the park. Do I need a permit? I would like to see a few cops and, you know, maybe a few firemen and maybe a paramedic or two here with some kids and blow up some balloons for them. You know what I mean? And say, let's just get together and do this. I'll bring the music. You know, you guys bring the hot dogs. Jose's like, I'll make a sticky note of that.
I'm actually writing it down.
I seen your wheels start to turn. It was like, hey, wait a second.
I like to write ideas on my notes and then just.
Oh, dude, if you could see my computer, I've got sticky notes everywhere. They're like around my computer. I'm driving the family baddie with pinks and blues. And then I've learned that on a computer, you can make sticky notes.
Yeah.
Like desktop. So now I've got them in paper form and in desktop form everywhere. I'm driving myself batty. But I can see you doing that as a way of saying, hey, let's give back. Let's start this, you know, because we do have some beautiful programs out there, but I don't think they're successful as they, you know, what they could be or what they are.
Yeah, I definitely believe that, you know, in general, Janesville Beloit community, we have some really good people in the community that want to do things and want to be involved and stuff, but there's like just no direction, you know?
Yeah. So we need somebody to stand up and do that. You know, I think you're just the face of Janesville, at least in my mind. And I think I think it isn't a lot. You know, you were the man that has, and I know you don't agree with this, but when, you know, I've got almost 5,000 friends on Facebook. I know you probably have quite a few. I see a lot, you know what I mean? I don't see everybody's posts, but I see a lot, and I've wiped away all negativity on my Facebook because I don't tolerate it, you know? So I get to see all these positive things. You know, it's not just showing the work, you know, it's showing the positive things that you put out there, and you're always putting positive things into the community. It's never a negative, it's always a positive. You know, even when you get frustrated, it's always a positive way of saying something, you know? So, because sometimes you can feel the frustration, but it's like, dude, just get off your butt. Let's go to work. Hey, come on, I'll give you a job. Let's go. You know, it's like, can you hold a shovel? You got a job. You know what I mean? I'll teach you how to move it. You know, so it really is a face of somebody that, you know, because I do think somebody like you who has your story and has reinvented yourself a couple of times and still has room for more dreams and has more room for helping the community and the people around them to not just get them working. Because I think getting people working is really small, you know, because anybody can get to work, but to do something you're going to do the rest of your life and love it is a whole nother mentality, like you had said in the beginning. And I do think you're not just a face, but you're one of the faces that does that. You know, you're just one that gets, you know, you get out there. You're not afraid to show your face to say, this is what my beliefs are. So
I think for the most part, I agree with the statement. I just think that, you know, there's also a lot of other people that, you know, in Janesville that do really good work as far as, you know, community involvement, like Forward Janesville, they do a lot of really good work. They have a lot of good community leaders that really care about the city, really care about, or, you know, organizing events, things like that. DJI also does a good job organizing events for Janesville. And I think that, you know, there's the network is what I really like about the city is the network is pretty big, but small enough to know people like that, you know, to know the right people to make things happen.
Yeah.
And I think that anyone that wants to make things happen, there's, you know, there's support there. You know, you just got to bring that idea and just stay consistent.
And I think that's awesome. And I just would love to see it become more forefront for people to see. And I think we're heading that way, you know, with the improvements downtown and things of that nature to make it more of a community involvement. You know, and I'm glad that there's people like you and, you know, like you said, Forward Janesville and all those other places that do that, because I think that's where we're heading towards.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. You know, with all of that. So you know what, and I'll tell you what, put it on social media, because I don't think enough things get put on social media sometimes in a positive manner, because I never see it. You know, I got grandkids and I want to take everywhere. And then I find out the day after, I'm like, well, when that happened? Well, that was yesterday. Well, there was a newsletter. Where was the newsletter? we don't get the Gazette, you know.
Yeah.
We're phone junkies, you know. This is where we need it to be pasted in our phones, because that's what we do, you know. So what are some of your ideas that you would do for yourself to bring the community together?
At some point I'd like to host like a big some sort of talent show, you know, with everyone. I also have ideas like of a big foam party with the kids, like a citywide foam party or something like that. Something citywide, you know, or something to where it's one event, the whole city. And it's just a lot of fun, ton of fun. Obviously music involved,
Right.
not landscaping, but music.
I
you
like
know,
that.
something like that, where it's like a yearly thing. That's a big deal. You know, that's like one of my goals.
Like an old-fashioned block party in a big old park.
Correct. Like that. But
That's
like for us, like hosting the whole thing pretty much.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like to do.
I think that would be amazing. I really do. Because I think this is so far, because from the minute we started talking, you know, almost a little over 45 minutes ago, and I asked you, what do? You were like, I'm just a man that does music and yards. Wait a second. This man's a whole lot more than music and yards, you know. I love the humbleness.
I think that idea came from because the city used to hold an all city rec night for all the middle school students.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then they got rid of it. So I was like, why the heck they get rid of it? So because we started doing the rec nights and then they got rid of it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing one day.
You know, that's a good idea, because I know, at least it used to be, I don't know if it still is. I only know this because the cops used to tell me, come and shut it down, and then they'd start line dancing instead. But and I don't know if you know about my daughter's car accident. It's been 13 years since her car accident. And I used to throw a party every year for everybody that came in to help us, you know, and it was not just people at the accident, but the people for that year or two afterwards. And we used to have a come in and celebrate. And I used to like shut down our block unintentionally. Oops, too many people showed up and they're line dancing in the streets type of thing. But I know we have, you used to be able to get permits, because the police would tell me, you need a permit to do this. I'm like, well, if you come and dance, that's my permit, right? Like, so get in there and get a jiggy with it. I don't know, you know, some fun. Thank God I knew the police that were coming, you know what I mean? So I didn't get any tickets, but, and they never stopped us. They just showed up for moral support, I think. But I think it's a great idea. You know, I think it's a great idea, because to give back is huge, you know, it's huge. And I'll tell you what, in anything I ever did, there was never, at least at that point, there was never alcohol involved, you know? And I mean, I had kids from my daughter's age, which was 15 when the accident occurred, up till 30. And nobody cared if they had a drink. Nobody cared if they wanted to fight or not. Nobody cared about any of that. It was just all positivity, you know? I found out I'm really good at blowing up balloons and giving them fake tattoos. So if you need somebody to do the fake tattoos, I'm good at it. I just did it at Hattie's birthday party. I did a lot of fake tattoos on people, so it was fun. You know what? Before we end here, I want you to. First thing is, if you were going to tell anybody anything, if you were going to sit down and really have a heart-to-heart, whether the person is 10 or 50, what would you tell them to inspire them?
that's a tough one. I say a lot, so I'm just.
And that's okay. We got time. Say all you guys say.
I'm trying to think of something to keep it short. I would tell them that they're gonna make mistakes in life. They're gonna go through, trials, tribulations. They're gonna go through things where they're gonna do something. But at the end of the day, as long as you learn from it, and move past it, that's okay.
Yeah. I love that.
I think that a lot of people are feeling, they feel that because they do something and they fail at it, or they make a mistake, that's the end of it. Life is over.
Mm-hmm.
Life is never over until your heart stops beating. So as long as you learn from it, you accept what happened, and you move on, you're always going to be good.
I love that.
You can't expect life to be perfect your whole life. So
yeah,
that's the only thing I would mention.
I love that. And it's funny that I love how you said that, because as you're talking, I just seen a quote yesterday. The short actor on Games of Thrones, can't think of his name. He was actually quoted saying something basically of when you fail, how does he say it? When you fail, it's not starting again, because you're not starting all over. You've already done it once. It's just this time you're doing it with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. So how can people find you? How can people find you? Because not just for the you do an incredible DJ service. It's and trust me, people, when I talk DJ, I'm not talking about he just does weddings and celebrations or family reunions. This man is in taverns. This man is karaoke. This man, or his DJ services everywhere. And you also do the landscaping. So how do people find you?
Just go to my social media, Jose Mas Caraballo. If they want to inquire, they just go on my website, versatiledjent.com.
I love that.
Probably the easiest way to find me. I'm not on Snapchat. I'm on Snapchat, but I don't really people message me and I won't reply till months later. Instagram, same deal. I'm not on social media too much because I just don't have the time to keep up with everything. I just don't have the time for it. So probably I'll stick to Facebook.
Right. And that's fine, because I know I've sent you messages and it's like he's opened it, he didn't reply. Okay, and it might be 5 days later I get, oh my God, what the hell is that? Well, not in those words, but I'm like, okay, he just opened and shut, and he'll read it later.
Yeah.
But I like people to be able to find you, because you know what? Really sorry, I talk to spirit. You know what I do? So I hear things as I'm talking. You know what I mean? I'm not crazy. I don't hear, it's not like extra voices. But I just heard, I want people to have a place to send donations to these events that you want to create. You know what I mean? Kind of like a donation fund to say, hey, you know what, guys, I'm going to start it. I'm going to put it out. If you want to help Jose create something in the city of Janesville, a big event for moral support and bring a community together, then send him donations, send him an email saying, hey, how do I donate to this? Trust me, he's not going to put the money in his back pocket. He will create an account, because that's Jose, and he will use it to the good of the community. So I'm going to start it. There you go, Jose. You're stuck. You're done. I put it in stone. I put that energy on you.
You're pressured to do this.
You're pressured. Watch the donations come in. You're going to be like, okay, this is just going to be fun now. We're going to have balloons and face painting for everybody and lots of dancing, and bring the police out for moral support and, and protect the streets and say hi, So more than just a cop and a dog at a Traxel Park on the 4th of July. So there's your pressure. There you go. I'm starting the ball rolling for you. He's like, now I got to write down, go to the bank and make a note for donations. But I think it'd be an amazing thing. We do that when I was up in Hayward, Wisconsin. People every place else don't realize this. There's a gentleman by the name of Dave Anderson. It's actually Famous Dave, Famous Dave's burger or barbecue joints. His home is Hayward, Wisconsin, and every year he did the big 4th of July celebration, but he did it on the 3rd of July, not to compete. And as anybody knows, 4th of July is very expensive, especially when you're getting really permits and the big upgraded things. So it really was a donation process to help him do this huge event that brought so many community members together, you know, on so many levels. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool. I'd add to the fundraiser, you know what I mean? I mean, I give you a whole bunch of readings, you know what? Just auction them babies off. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story, your ideas, your thoughts. I really hope people can see, you know what, that you're not just a man that I can't even, I gotta stop saying I suck with names. You're not just an entrepreneur of businesses, but you're a man that's a creator of ideas and encouragement and helping everybody that you see. You know, that's what you do, you know. So, and hopefully you're an encouragement to everybody that was able to hear you today and everybody that really meets you on the streets. So thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much. You know,
I appreciate it.
thank you. Well, you have a great day because I know you're busy and I know to take this hour out was like a whole lot. You know what I mean? I can see almost like Superman and ripping off the shirt into, you know, like you're tired for the rest of the day. Like, now I gotta go sweat. It's hot out there.
Yeah, it's hot out there.
So get yourself some personal fans, you know.
Yeah.
Tell Shanna hi for me, and I appreciate everything. And I'm looking forward to see what other part of your house she rips apart and recreates for you.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I love it. I love it. She's gonna build you a mansion. She's gonna build you a mansion. So, hi, hon. I see her arm. You guys have a great day, okay? And thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here with School Through Spirit at WLTK Let's Talk Radio. I'll be back in a few minutes with your weekly reading here and do a recap.
Others say it. We prove it.
We are controlling transmission.
WLTK-DB. Let's talk. Alternative Talk Radio. WLTK-DB.com. Patreon is a place for creators. We're one of them. Visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/WLTK-DB. Check out all the unique support tiers we offer. You can get early release episodes, station mugs and t-shirts, free station service work, and much more. Help the station reach its $1,000 per month goal to make our station totally ad-free. Patreon.com/WLTK-DB. We appreciate your support. A book of mystery, a book of one man's journey, a book of the afterlife, a book you must read. Ghost and Me by 5-time award-winning author Kevin Killen is a book of one man's journey in the search of the afterlife. Read of his chilling childhood experience, his investigative journeys, and his opinions of paranormal activity. Ghost and Me by Kevin Killen, an Ozark Mountain publication. Get your copy today online or wherever books are sold.
Welcome back to School Through Spirit. I'm your host, yet Renee, here on WLTK Let's Talk Digital Radio. I've had just an amazing morning speaking to Jose of Versatile DJ Services and Landscaping. And I really wanted to bring DJ on. I really wanted to bring Jose on because I wanted everybody to hear his story, okay? And not so much the story of the childhood, you know what? Because we can all relate to that. And that's, you know, that is awesome in its own right. But literally how he, you know, his thought process behind business, helping community, what's important to him, and all of that. To me, it's just, I feel like we could have gone on forever and ever and ever. And I hope you enjoyed that. So we are on to our weekly reading, everybody. Let's go psychic. Woo, 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 woo. There we go. Oh, I injured my wrist, and every time I tried to move it, it really hurts. So we are using today, let me bring it around. If you're watching, if you're seeing on YouTube, Intuitive Soul Oracle cards by Lisa Williams. I love these cards. Not sure if you can really get them anymore, guys. So if this is a deck that you have resonated with as I've used them, please go to your local bookstore. And it will have to be to your bookstore, just so you know, to see if they can order them for you. Reason being is because if you go on to Amazon, it might be in French. The cards are no longer being made. I'm seeing lots of ums today. So go to your local bookstore, order them out, see if they can get them from their distributor, and go from there, because they're only there while supplies last, guys. They're only there while supplies last. So we are coupling, and I keep hearing 4 cards. I'm like, really, 4 cards? We're going to do 4 cards today. And then, I'll do a backup card over here. And I'll talk about the backup card, that clarification card type of thing. So let's do 4 cards. Let's shuffle. I always let you see that I'm shuffling. I don't know if you can hear it, but you can see it. Just so you know, in case cards come up from last week, that I didn't plant them, babies, that I am shuffling. As we play this, I feel like I'm playing 4 cards started. Let's play this game. But literally, as I'm doing this, I want you to pick a number of 1 through 4. Okay, 1 through 4. And y'all seen the bottom card, but don't tell nobody, because I'm not using it anyway. I always go from the top. Pick a number 1 through 4. Okay. Now that number is yours. Okay. You can pick 1. You can pick 2 numbers. You can pick 3. You can pick all 4. It's all up to you. Or you can take all 4 and turn it into a spread for yourself. And I'll do a recap of them when I'm done anyway. But that card is for you for the week to see kind of what you need, where you're going in life. Okay. Number 1 is home. Oh, I can't turn my wrist like that. Is the home card. It is feeling safe, warmth, togetherness, relaxed, time to unwind, home. Excuse me. And I do believe home is not only your home, it's your roots, it's your safety, it's your place of security, all of that. So if you pick number 1, this week is really about your home life. Okay. It's regathering your thoughts, bringing it back to whatever you may call home for yourself, whether it's a big mansion or just, a couch on somebody's couch. It's okay. It's whatever your home is. We're bringing it into home and realizing what is important to you, those resources, whether it be your safety, your security, your friends, your family, your community. Bring it back to home this week. Okay. And that's what you're supposed to be focusing on this week. Card number 2. Ooh, pure. Innocence, clarity, belief, honesty, and truth. I love this card. Oh, I do. I love this card. Every time I see this card, I just feel so much wash for me. So much wash for me. And when I look at this card, you see just, to me, what looks like a very angelic child sitting there, beautiful curly brown hair, flowers going through it. Just a beautiful, what I want to say is a little girl sitting there. But it's really getting back to when I look at this, what are your beliefs? What are your thoughts? What are your truths? Okay. Who are you? Okay. Not what mom or dad told you should do. Not what the community thinks you're good at, but who are you? Getting down to your belief system of who you are. You need to go to the core on this. You need to, if you pick number 1, this is your time to look within, clarify who you are. Okay. Now, just like I said earlier in the show, I wanted to help people. I was in nursing. I wanted to help people. The longer I spent there in that occupation, the more I realized I really wanted to help people, but not in that manner. Okay. I wanted to help people on a different scale. And I'm not going to say a bigger scale, because nursing is a huge scale to begin with, but a different scale is what I wanted to do. So I went into that. I had to be honest with who I was. I had to look within myself for that clarity of who I was. And I needed to come back with the truth of who I am. Okay. Do I have nurse as a title still? I do. It's in there someplace. But the psychic medium or the teacher is quite a bit bigger. But I had to go within to find my own truth. And this week for you, if you pick number 2, that's what you have to do. You have to go in to find your own truth and let that out. Oh my God, this is another fun card. Playground, youth, playfulness, inner child, fun, and laughter. I love looking at this card because how can you not smile to see a little girl on an old-fashioned wooden swing, you know, tied up with ropes with dandelions in her hands? You know, how can you not smile when you see that? And if you picked card number 3, you were really looking inward again. You're looking inward again. So I really do think this card is kind of playing off number 2, but it's different. It's when you look within, you're looking at that inner child. Okay. How many of you are just so serious all the time? Like, oh my God, I got to make the money. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to be here at this time. I got to do this at that time. Boom, boom, boom. Everything kind of gets to be like you forget that inner person of you, that inner child that just likes to come out and play and have a good time. You know, we can't forget that. And if you pick number 3, you're a person that has forgot about that inner child, allowing that child to come out and play, that child to come out and have fun, maybe having an old-fashioned, you know, water fight. So tonight, if you're doing the dishes and you have been a work person slaving your life away, grab that sprayer when the kids come up and shoot them with it. You know what? You have to mop the floors anyway. But literally just have fun, okay? Have fun. Find that inner child, let it out. Realize life is about fun and laughter and experiences and not just about work, 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 okay? So we're looking at that. And trust me, if you have those experiences, if you're having fun in your life, you are going to be more productive. Now the last card. Oh my God, you guys know how much I love this card. You know, I don't plan it, but you know how much I love this card. It's the journey card, okay? It's a crossroads, forward thinking, time to move on. I love looking at this card because I can look at this card for hours and meditate on it. Anybody that knows me, I'm not a huge meditator. I'm not. But when I look at this card, I just see the paths. I see, you know, the stone paths, one going like downhill, one going off to the right, going uphill, one in forward in front of me, a stone stairway going up. I see the meadow. That I could cross through the flowers and go that way. Just so many directions I could go. There's so many different types of flowers here. There's different types of trees here. You see meadows and mountains. There's so much in this card. When you really look at the details, there's so much. And that really is what your journey is. Your journey is not just wake up, go to work, do your job, come home and feed the kids, mow the lawn, rest and watch, you know, maybe American Idol at night and then go to bed by 9 just to do it again tomorrow. And the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. That's not what our lives are about. Our lives are journeys, okay? Every moment of it is a journey. Now, if that's a life you love, great, that's awesome. But trust me, if you picked number 4, you picked the journey card, your life has come to a crossroads. You really are at that point where you're thinking, you know what? The humdrum of what I've been doing is not necessarily what I want to keep doing. And that's okay. It's okay. Look within. Look within. Find that what you want to do. It's time for you to move on. It's time for you to push forward. Okay? And it doesn't mean that you just quit your job, quit your life, and go away. It just means that, you know, this is your time to start thinking about that process, thinking about that plan, thinking about what you want to do, and starting to put it into motion. Okay? Starting to put it into motion. Okay? So if you pick number 4, that's what that's about. Now let's do that card of clarity like I talked about. Okay? We are using the Psychic Tarot from the Heart by John Holland. My granddaughter loves these cards, We're going to the beach in a little bit. So I got grandkids very happy about that. So what I'm going to do is, got to be gentle with this wrist. I am going to shuffle again. I'm just going to pick after I cut, I'm going to pick that top card. And whatever it is what our clarified card is. Now remember, the clarifying card can go with any one of the cards. You love it? Any one of the cards. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, just snapped. That's a good thing, right? Oh my God. I couldn't have picked it any better. The move card, guys. Oh my God. If you can see this, oh my God. It's two hands, okay? And it is definitely two different hands, okay, from two different people, because you can look at the nails, okay? Both look pretty perfectly manicured, just one nail's a lot shorter than the other. And you see this energy flowing up in a big heart above it, and just beautiful artwork here, beautiful artwork. So if you're looking at this, oh my God, I just want to put these cards all together. The move card. And when I put that on all of them, it is time. It is time. Just like I've been talking about all day today. It really has been about energy and movement and thought process, and allowing things to be, allowing things to grow, allowing things to go what they need to do, okay? But it's time to move. It is time to move. If you've picked any one of these cards, you are going to look at that, okay? This is your time to put that energy behind it and do what you want to do. Do it. It's time, okay? It's time. So basically, I'm going to make a Snapchat. I hope all this makes sense to you. When I look at these, when I go back and I look at these, I got to get my camera out. As everybody knows, I need to get my legs out of there because nobody wants to see my legs or my feet or my thighs in the picture. Whoop, got it, I think. I did, look at that. So when I recap these cards, home was number one. That is really going within, or that is really bringing it back to what's important to you, okay? It's looking at, it's coming back, it's looking at your home life, your family, that togetherness. It's taking a break, it's relaxing, it's unwinding. It's time for you to take relaxation, okay? But it's really is kind of bringing it back to what's important to you. Number two was the pure card, that innocence and clarity, belief, honesty, and truth. It's time for you to go within. It's time for you to figure out what your truth is. Honestly, what is the purity of who you are? Find what you like. Find what you like and do it. Number three was the playground card, okay? That playground really is about your inner child. Now, I don't care if you are 2 or if you are 20 or if you're 80. When it rains, go play in it. Go have fun. Go have a water fight in the park. Why don't you have a water fight in your kitchen? You know, whatever it is, let that inner child come out. Let that inner child play. The last card I picked, number 4, was the journey card. And we all know how much I love this, because it tells me that, you know what? You realize that you have paths, that there's a lot of different ways you can go. You are not stuck in life, okay? The life is a journey, and there's so many different crossroads, and you are at one right now. You are at a crossroads right now. And the last card that I picked as a clarifier for all of them from John Holland's deck is that move card, okay? That move card. And if I put that against any one of the 4 cards that we pulled today, that move card really does mean just do it now. You like that? Do it now. That's how it means. Do it now, okay? We're done resting on our laurels. We're done sitting there not doing anything. This is your time to have adventure. This is your time to go off and move and do what you need to do for you and get your butt moving, okay? Why are you sitting around not doing this? Life is easy. It really is. And life is fun. So have at it. Now, let's talk. And Todd, can I get the name of the person that, I think his name is Kurt. I can't remember. I'm asking my producer, by the way. I want to bring up our station program for the week, because I love to do that. I love to move it. Oh my God, I don't even listen to a lot of music, and all of a sudden it's in my head. It has been for a few days, like a week. It's been really strange. Thank you, sir. I got that one totally wrong, didn't I? Bring it up. Okay. I'll tell you a recipe I just found. How's that sound? So our station program list, as you know, starts with me every Monday morning. Okay, School Through Spirit at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I always say things in Central Standard Time because that's the time zone I'm in. So that's what we start at every Monday, 9 a.m. with School Through Spirit with your host, Yet Renee. Now later on tonight, and it is tonight, 8 p.m., we have the Paranormal and Cryptic Show, and that is with Jay and Stacy Fountain. An amazing show you don't want to miss, okay? Tuesdays, we go to 7 p.m., and that is New Bridge Radio with Kevin Mackey. We go on beyond that. The same evening, Tuesdays, is Haunted Voices Radio at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that's with our very own Todd Bates. By the way, I got him on to interview. That is going to be one hell of a good time. And I'm going to say it wrong. No, I'm not. I'm going to get it this time. Paranormal Pete is on at 10 p.m. every Tuesday night, and that's Pete or Bea. I know I said it right. Even if I got it wrong, I said it right because I get names right now. But we have Paranormal Pete here, 10 p.m. on. I got it right. Woohoo! See, I'm good with names now. I got to keep saying that to myself. On Wednesday nights, oh my gosh, it is Nicole. Or Wednesday nights is not Nicole. Wednesday night is Missy Hart and Nicole Ford, and that is the Good Shit Show at 7 p.m. And I'll tell you what, that is a show that's going to make you think and make you wonder, so you need to tune into it. Now, and what else are you doing on a Wednesday? Oh my God, come on. You're not even mowing your lawn on Wednesday night anymore. You're just sitting around looking for something to do. So on to Thursday nights is Nicole Strickland with her Afterlife Chronicles, and that is on at 8 p.m. And then on to Friday evenings. Now, Friday evenings, I don't want to say it's a crapshoot, but you know what? If you don't remember what Friday it is a crapshoot, because every other Friday, alternating Fridays here, we have on one Friday night, we have Tori Smith and Renee Rodriguez, and that's with Remember Me Radio, okay? And then on the opposite Friday, we have Renee Rodriguez and Robert Rye, and that's with Secrets Within Radio. Okay, Secrets Within Radio. So you know what? We have got tons going on, but we have room for more. Can you believe it? We've got room. So let me tell you, if you want to have your own radio show, if you feel you have something to say, something to share, you have something you want to get out there, okay? Trust me, all you have to do is talk. If you ever liked talking, like me, they can't shut me up, ever. I'm perfect for radio. Why? Because they can't shut me up. I may not be able to correlate a whole lot of thoughts and a whole lot of sentences that I'm going to keep on the same subject, but maybe that's why I'm good at, interviewing. I don't know. I'm all over the place. But if you ever want to talk, if you ever have something you want to talk about, you want to get out there, send a message to the host there, or to the producer, Todd Bates, on WLTK.com. That's the radio station. Send a message to him. Say, hey, dude, I want to talk. I got something to say, and I want to show. Todd will go over everything with you, and he'll help you to formulate it. And trust me, people ask me, how much equipment do you have? I got nothing. I got a computer. I have a microphone that sometimes works, and sometimes I have to use my computers. Either way, my Todd, you like that? Don't tell his wife. Don't tell Sherry. I just called him my Todd. Anyway, my producer, he does the magic. He makes it all work. All you have to do is have a computer that hooks to Wi-Fi, hooks to the internet somewhere. And he does the magic, okay? So just have an idea, a thought, and you know what? He does all the hard work. All you have to do is show up. He says we have 2 slots left. I told him he doesn't need to have a life. We can move it up. But he still is the deciding man on the end of that. So hook up with Todd to see where we have. There's always going to be a slot available for you, so please join in. The next thing we have is advertisement. Have you ever thought about doing it and didn't know how? Oh my God, I sound like a commercial. But seriously, if you ever wanted to advertise your business, and you're always looking for something new, something different, something improved, because I'll tell you what, social media is amazing. Internet radio is better. Why? Because your advertisement is going to repeat itself over and over and over again. Whatever the package you've bought, through the stations. Now we do have new low advertising prices. I can't read and talk at the same time. See, that's why I just talk. They got lowered after COVID. Come on in. You know what? Hook up. It's not that expensive at all. Let me see. I'm going to bring it up. Let me see if my computer works faster than Todd's fingers. Because I'm going to tell you the prices. Oh my God, what is this? I enter the station and I get Todd Bates. Todd, you're going to have to be 10, 20, and 30. Thank you, Todd. Your fingers are better than mine. So we do have the packages, $10, $20, and $30. Message Todd for more details on those and what comes with those packages. But literally, you can't beat that on advertising, guys. And that's like, I think that's monthly. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's monthly. If I'm wrong, he'll just triple charge you or quadruple charge you. Serious. He says, yes, it is monthly. God, so don't think he's going to like scam you on some money. But it's $10 a month to advertise, $20 a month to advertise, or $30 a month to advertise. You can't beat that, can you? Can you really beat that prices to have your stuff go over and over and over again? And trust me, when I'm saying advertising, yes, we have the one radio station. And yes, we play at certain times of the day. And you're like, well, what about the rest of the times? I'll tell you what happens. One, because it's internet radio, other internet stations pick us up. And then we get picked up from there, and we get picked up from there, and we get picked up all over the place. So now we are not a local station. And trust me, I'm in Wisconsin. My producer's in Indiana. Okay, that one is awesome. Two, when I get picked up, when the show gets picked up, it gets picked up all over the place. Okay, so your advertising is getting posted all over United States as the stations are picking it up. Now I have no control of where that goes or who it goes to or how many, but it's a sure cry from just one station. Okay, so that's pretty much huge, guys. For $10 a month, you know, if that's what you're paying, your advertisement's going out there a little bit further. Okay. Now, also, I wanted to bring up, like I did at the very beginning of the show, because if you're at this point and you start listening later on in the show, but you're going, oh my God, I missed this amazing thing, because maybe you missed Jose and you really want to listen to that show. One, we have YouTube channel. Okay. We have YouTube, and that is under WLTK-DB on YouTube. The show is going to be archived there. It's also turned into a podcast, and you can find that on podcast, on Podbean, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Let me think. Amazon Music has us. Can you believe it? A radio show on Amazon Music. And this last week, Audible picked us up. Oh my, we must be doing something right, guys, here. Audible picked us up. So you can download us like a book, a radio show that is now a book. I'm telling you, we're going places, we're doing things. This is the time to get in, okay? This is the time to get in and listen to us, advertise with us, and see what happens, okay? So, because the sky's the limit, and who knows where we're going to go. But for now, you've heard it from me here on Diet Renee on School Through Spirit with WLTK, Let's Talk Digital Radio. I will see you next week with Valerie Cameron. Oh my God, you're going to love Valerie. I love Valerie. You're going to love Valerie. You're going to love her. She's out of Canada. So I will see you next week here with Valerie Camera. Stay safe, stay sweet. I'll see you then.